What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. You guys already know what it is. We got another project. This one is for a winter beater. Obviously I'm not gonna winter daily the Integra or most of my other projects, so I picked this one up, and it's got some issues, but overall it's a really solid car. I can tell that the previous owner took really good care of it. But yeah, we'll check it out here when I get there, and I'll show you guys what it is. I'll go over the problems with you guys, and I'll try to document all my diagnostics and any fixes that I do to it, if I do fix it. But whether I fix it or not, I will be documenting it, and hopefully you can figure this out. Maybe you guys can help me out with the issues that this car might be having. So I'm excited for this one. Yeah, I'll show you guys once we're all loaded up, and show you guys what the vehicle is. Alright guys, here we are in my new car. It's a 2003 Acura RSX base model. So this is my RSX. It's got tan interior, kind of ugly, but it's a 5-speed. I've got my OBD scanner plugged in, so that's why it's beeping. I got a check engine light and a battery light. So those are some of the things I'm gonna have to figure out. Like I said, I plan to take you guys along for all the diagnostics and troubleshooting of this car. No matter how long it takes. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Hopefully I figure it all out pretty quickly. But initially I bought the car and it had a misfiring issue. Like, it was very subtle, but there was a misfire and the car was not picking up speed very quickly. And it got dark, so I never really filmed when I picked it up or when I fixed the misfire. But when I got home, when I got the car home, I basically had a full set of spare coil packs, and I swapped them out, and the car has ran perfectly since. I hit redline just fine. But I do have a check engine light for was it intake manifold runner tube or something, and VTEC solenoid fault sensor 1, bank 1, or something like that. So those are the two codes that I still have. The misfire used to throw codes, misfire engine 1 or cylinder 1, misfire cylinder 3, and then random / multiple misfires. So no more misfiring codes, which means I fixed that with some new coil packs, which is good because I didn't want it to be something internal with the engine, like skip tooth on a timing or something. But that's all good. So just want to let you guys know about that if you're having misfiring issues, because the previous owner did 2 sets of spark plugs in the last 20,000 miles and he was still misfiring, and I think the only thing he didn't do was replace the coil packs. So luckily I had some spares around. It didn't hurt me anything, didn't cost me anything to try, and that happened to be the fix. So that's that. Once I get back home, I will see what we can do about this VTEC light, the intake runner tube. I think I have that one pretty much figured out, but we'll see if I can actually fix it. But yeah, once I get home, we'll figure out this VTEC thing, and hopefully we get some VTEC back. But yeah, here's the new RSX, or the new daily. 233,000 miles. Battery light, I think I did some research, and the guys say put on a brand new alternator, but there's a YouTube video out there, and apparently if you don't have an OEM alternator, then you're gonna have this battery light no matter what you do. So I don't know if I want to drop $300 $400 for a brand new OEM alternator right now. So it's working, it's charging. I'm just gonna leave it. I will check the battery voltage when I get home just to make sure that I'm within spec, so I'm not overcharging or undercharging or anything. But the car is running fine. So yeah, super clean car, except for the exterior. Yeah, overall, the previous owner put a lot of work into drivability. He made sure all the suspension, steering, everything was good. So this car drives like it was brand new out of the factory. I paid $1,200 for this car, so I am not complaining at all. But yeah, I'll get back with you guys when I get back to the house. Alright, so first things first, we need to make sure that this alternator is outputting the right voltage, because we need to figure out why it's throwing that battery light. So it's going to be kind of hard to do this one-handed, but hopefully I can just wedge this in here. Yeah, so far so good. And 14.4 volts. I think that's within normal spec. It's a little high. I think usually it's between 13.7 and 14.3, so it might be a little high, which is why I'm throwing that light. But either way, it's not too far out of spec, so I think it's safe to say that this alternator is okay. I don't think it's worth buying a $300-400 OEM alternator. So yeah, we're good there. So next thing on the list is this VTEC thing. Well, actually the easier of the two would be this intake runner thing. There's this solenoid, and it basically a tube that goes through the intake, and it looks like it just kind of like rotates and either lets air run through the short runners or the long runners, you know, for pretty much max performance and max MPGs. But since these are plastic, I think they're known to just clog up and it doesn't rotate or whatever. So if I replace that tube, then it should fix that issue. I think if you replace just this sensor, you see the screw right here, if you replace just that sensor, because I think that's the thing that actually rotates the tube, you might be okay too. But the whole assembly off of Amazon is like 120 bucks, so might be worth to just replace the whole thing. So yeah, that should be a simple fix, hopefully. The more difficult fix is this VTEC solenoid. So it looks like the guy on his maintenance log, he replaced this about almost 30,000 miles ago now, but I think he initially replaced it because it was having this issue, and I doubt he ever fixed it. He probably just ignored it and left it alone. But we need to test to make sure we got I don't know if we can test for power, but we can definitely test for ground, and you know, confirm that we're at least getting ground. So then if it doesn't work, then that means we're not getting power from the ECU or whatever. I'm not really sure how the wiring or the setup works for these, but we'll just test it and figure it out. Alright, so here's what I found so far after probing the leads. So in order to probe these leads, there's this plastic thing that you have to pull out with some needle nose pliers, and then it'll give you enough access to, you know, stick one of the leads under here. And what I've found is this is the VTEC solenoid. It's kind of dark. Hopefully you can see. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see it. One's green and one's black. And the black one is on my right here. Hard to see, but the black one is a ground, and then that's for the VTEC solenoid. This one right here, this guy right here. And then on the VTEC switch, which is this plug, or the VTEC oil pressure switch, which is over here, same thing. You gotta pull out. Oh, actually no, this one I didn't have to pull out because it had enough space in between these prongs that I could get my leads into. But so looking from the front of the clip, this is where you push the clip out. So this bottom one is the ground. The top one looks like it's a power. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna splice into it. I'm not gonna cut it off. I'm just gonna splice it, put a wire, run it from this power wire to this power wire, and hopefully one of these is getting a power signal, and then my VTEC will work again, and then my car will run normally. Because right now, if I go into anything past 4,000 RPMs, the car just kind of like hits like a rev limiter and just kind of like boom, 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 and then, you know, I can't drive any faster than 4,000 RPMs. Which just doing the kind of driving that I do, I never go past 4,000 RPMs anyways. But obviously it's still an issue. It needs to be fixed. If you reset the light, then the car can go past 4,000 RPMs just fine for like 1 or 2 pulls, and then it goes right back to having issues. So obviously that needs to be fixed. I don't know if this will fix it, but it is a attempt in hopefully the right direction. Alright, so I got those wires spliced together. I'm gonna start the engine and clear the code. I don't think this code is gonna go away unless I clear it. I don't think it's like an O2 sensor where it just kind of, you know, goes away whenever it decides that it's got enough cycles. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset the light now. Alright, finally got it plugged in. So let's go ahead and clear this code. Alright, what's taking so long? Codes found 2. Let's read them just so you guys see what they are. This is annoying. Alright, so VTEC system circuit fault, which is what I'm trying to fix. This is the intake manifold runner control, which is that little valve thing that I was talking about. So go ahead and erase these codes. Check engine light is gone. Idle's still doing some funny things. But hopefully that'll sort itself out. Let's see what our coolant temp is at. Alright, we're at 168, ready to go for a rip. So it's still doing it. I just did a pull and check engine light came back on, lost all power. So this is what it does. You see that? That's like limp mode. And it'll just keep doing that as long as I keep my foot on the gas. So clearly that didn't fix it, so I will need to do some more rewiring. Alright, so I've got this set up here, going to the VTEC solenoid. I'm going to apply direct power to it, and once it switches to VTEC solenoid, the engine should change pitch, because obviously it's going into VTEC mode. I don't have a third hand, so I can't hold the camera up for you guys to see, but hopefully you guys can hear it. I'll prop you guys up on the windshield. Alright, so it didn't change pitch, so that's probably not working. Next I'll try the VTEC oil pressure switch and see if that makes any difference. Hopefully it does. So yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but the engine actually changed pitch. So I think that's my issue. I'm not really sure how I'm going to fix it, but yeah. Alright, so a quick recap of what we figured out so far is VTEC solenoid works. When I put it to positive battery, you can hear the solenoid clicking. Oil pressure switch, you can't hear it clicking, but when I put oil pressure switch to battery power, then the VTEC kicks in, as you guys could hear in that last video with the change in pitch of the engine, because obviously the VTEC cams are kicking in. So they both still work, but one of them is not receiving signal. I don't know if it's the VTEC solenoid or the VTEC oil pressure switch. I'm assuming it's the VTEC oil pressure switch, because obviously when I give that one battery power, then it puts the car into VTEC mode, right? So I'm assuming that's getting, or that one is not getting power. So I'm thinking of wiring a switch to it, driving the car and pressing a switch, kind of like, you know, NOS. But I'm thinking about doing that just to confirm that that is the issue. And if I do that, and obviously the car no longer throws check engine light and I'm able to hit VTEC, then, you know, there's a broken wire somewhere between the oil pressure switch and the ECU. So I either got to fix that or find a way to power the switch. But as of right now, it's dark, it's late, it's cold. Thank you guys for joining me on this video, on this journey. We will get this figured out, hopefully in the next video. If not, then, well, you guys are just gonna have to stick along, because I know there are plenty of you out there who have this problem. This is not the first car I've had this problem with. The engine code is a P1259 VTEC actuator faulty, something like that. But yeah, we will figure this out together. If you guys have any suggestions, or if you guys have dealt with this before, please let me know in the comments, and it would be great to get this thing, this $1,200 beater, it would be great to get this thing running and driving. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.